And we are once again here at our parish church. So in one of the previous videos you noticed that there are graffiti on the church, which of course, it's a sad reality of modern life. And well, you have to take into the consideration that Slovenia was from 1945 until 1991 ruled by the Communist Party, well, later renamed to the Union of Communists, which also reflects, long-seated, several generations long anti-religious bias here, which results also in like juvenile. Basically this is Micha S, so name and something, and then you have also some names. Someone Uroš loves Kaya, okay. But yeah, some engravings also. So also combination of anti-religious and anti-governmental, anti-politician. But one of the main problems, what is very hard for the church, Roman Catholic Church in this case particular, to keep up with cleaning of such expression of free thoughts, is that each parish is its own separate entity. So it's responsible for the maintenance of the property, church property, on their territory. Here in this case, in this parish, there are two churches. So this one, which is not even 100 years old, and of course the older one, which is several hundred years old. Of course there is also this student home, student dormitory, but I don't know if this is, I believe, separate entity also. And yeah, and also this makes harder for the parishes when they have to gather the money for renovation or restoration costs for such acts of vandalism, especially if you could consider, you take in consideration that the number of declared Catholics, and especially the number of religiously active people, so those that actually go to the mass, they are active in parish life and so forth, is constantly dropping, which of course also results into smaller donations, and of course not a lot of money for such repairs. And the other factor that also affects such restorations is the fact that majority, if not all, of the churches are considered cultural monuments, which means they are protected. And in this case of our parish, both churches have the status of national cultural monument, which also affects the ability. Lizzie, there is another dog on the walk. Ability to do anything on the property. Basically, church owns the property, church owns the church buildings. But because they have the status, all repairs, all alterations, every construction job that it has to do in these buildings or on these buildings, including removal of graffiti, it has to be first validated and approved by the state-run basically Bureau for Protection of Cultural Heritage, something like that. And only approved contractors, so basically art restorers, art conservationists, can work on such projects, which also increases the costs, from the bureaucracy, from specialized labor, specialized equipment, unique material. If you have to restore, you need the same material that it was used previously in the original and so forth. So that makes things a lot costlier than they should. And Wolfie is outside. Yeah, Wolfie. Pridan si. Dinihi. Kaj zdaj? Gremo? Ja, koliko si ti pridan? Koliko si ti pridan? Ja. Okay, gremo. Meeting with the Wolfie has ended, so let's continue. Yeah, and that also makes things much first longer, because the process, it takes some time. So the employee from the Cultural Heritage Foundation, Bureau, whatever, it has to come to assess the damage. Then you have to contact the approved contractors. Then you have to wait when they have the time, for such job. In some cases, you have to wait for the right weather conditions, and that makes things a lot harder. But of course, it's also a reflection of the mentality of people when they think that freedom of thought supersedes everything, and that apparently if the freedom of thought is done through the vandalism, so the criminal act, and basically damaging the cultural heritage site is a criminal offense. Of course, it's in their mind is still their right is still superior than anything else. And yeah, that is the main problem with the modern society. And basically I hope that I have answered or illuminated the situation regarding this.